Put your seatbelt on! Die, spaceship! Yes! That was awesome!
So here we are, a thief, one thug, an assassin, a maniac, and an angry little tree.
Hold on.
Oh, so we're saving the galaxy again?
Well, who else is gonna do it?
The Guardians cannot protect the galaxy from us.
Whoa! There must be some kind of peaceful resolution to this. Or even a violent one, where I'm standing over there.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. There's going to be a bunch of Marvel happening in the next couple of days. There might even be a new Spider-Man trailer. But we got to talk about this new footage, and we got to talk about who Sylvester Stallone and Michael Rosenbaum are playing. They're playing secret characters. James Gunn said they come as a pair, so I have a really big theory that I think is pretty close. But the footage in this is still using the same David Bowie track, but we get that new line from Ayesha where she says, "You can't save the galaxy from us." And then they start zerging the Guardians with all their drone ships here. It looks like these are drones just because you can't see any three-dimensional person beyond this screen here. So they're just meant to be this genetically perfect race that I think is the stand-in for the Enclave in the Marvel Comics. They're the same group, surprise, surprise, that created Adam Warlock. I know everybody's wondering where Adam Warlock is. He's not one of my theories about Michael Rosenbaum and Sylvester Stallone because they come as a pair. So whoever they're playing, they're from the same group in the comics, so I'll explain that in a second. But I love this drag shot here where he's just cheering at this guy. He's got a couple of these shots in the trailer, like later where he's like, "Screw you, spaceship," and then when he's floating in outer space with the energy shield and says, "Die, spaceship." So Drax is just going full berserker rage on everything in this. It's going to be so much fun. But apparently, RIP to the Aboleth. This looks like the monster that they're attacking that they've been hyping up in all the trailers they've been posting. You get some more footage of the Ravagers. I love the way James Gunn built this group out. There's like 3 times as many Ravagers as we saw in the last movie, and they all look vastly different too. In the last movie, most of them just look humanoid with a little bit of makeup. I think that's because they were playing a little safer, so when they got to this movie, they were probably like, "Okay, James Gunn, have as much fun as you want. Make them look as crazy as you could possibly make them." This is Taserface. He's a really important antagonist in the movie. This looks like the big coup moment where they actually take control from Yondu, because technically he's the leader of the Ravagers. You see Sean Gunn here, you see Kraglin's character, he's going to be bigger in this movie. And even though I'm enjoying Baby Groot here, I feel like he's going to be pretty polarizing. I think he'll be okay, but the whole idea with this, James Gunn actually explained that it was Kevin Feige's idea to make him little in this movie, because they could have made him big anytime they wanted to. It doesn't take that long for him to grow. But what James Gunn said is that after the first movie was finished, and they were looking at this scene in the kiln here, where they go crazy, and Rocket standing on Groot's soldier, and they spin around with all the guns firing and they're screaming, Kevin Feige said, wouldn't it be cool if it were the other way around in the next movie? So that was sort of the genesis of Baby Groot. And obviously, if they keep him a baby in the next film, he'll be CG, so it's not something that you would spot on set. But I guess we'll know if we see somebody standing on stilts. We even got some new Ego the Living Planet they dropped. They dropped all these posters, but they also dropped this picture of him by the campfire talking to Peter Quill. So this comes after this scene where he introduces himself as Peter's father, like, "Hello, Peter, I'm your father," and then Peter Quill just craps his pants. The really cool thing is that Kurt Russell actually explained his character and his relationship with Peter Quill in the movie just a little bit. He says, and I'm quoting here, he has a great adventurous spirit that he shares with his son, and the idea of being able to find someone that you've wanted to see for a long time. I think the whole thing being seen through Peter Quill's eyes, we can understand how you'd want to meet your dad if you didn't know who your dad was, and you'd heard these things about your father, and you've been told certain things by your mother, and you're trying to put together a picture. I think when it comes to parents that are missing, we have a tendency to put them on a pedestal, and Peter is living in that world. But to finally have the opportunity to meet that person and then begin to compare who they have in mind and what they're really getting is a lot of what we're doing. So what he's saying is that Peter Quill idolizes his father, so he has this rosy picture of him in his mind, like the best possible idea of what a father could be. And the thing that gets me crazy fanboy excited about this is that Ego the Living Planet, like the reality of his character, is that he is one of the biggest, literally one of the biggest, most obscure villains in the Marvel Universe. He has this really idealized version of his father in his head. Then he meets him and finds out that he's like the craziest villain ever. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, how that changes their dynamic, because Kurt Russell said that he shows up pretty early in the film and he's there for the entire ride. Then James Gunn also revealed that he would be coming back in future movies, meaning the Ego the Living Planet is going to slink away, whatever ends up happening in the movie. We don't really know the full plot yet, to come back in Infinity War or some other Marvel movie. James Gunn said he could come back in future Marvel movies, so that really means any space-based movie because he's a cosmic character. But the big thing, a lot of you are wondering about Sylvester Stallone and Michael Rosenbaum. So here's the thing that James Gunn said. This is definitely not a one-off for them. They're both characters that we've taken a lot of time to develop, and they're a big part of the MCU now. When he was originally talking about them, he said that he was really only on set with them for a couple days. So when he said that Michael Rosenbaum and Sylvester Stallone are really big characters that could come back in future movies, and they only have a brief presence in this film, and they're a really big deal, that just screamed cosmic entities. So what two cosmic entities come in tandem together? Master Order and Lord Chaos, two big cosmic entities that embody order and chaos, as you would imagine, in the universe. They inspired some of the Avengers like Spider-Man, The Thing, to fight Thanos during the original Infinity Gauntlet storyline, like we're getting ready for Infinity War, so they might show up in the film to try and inspire Avengers characters or the Guardians to start taking action against Thanos because of what he's planning. There's still a whole bunch of other characters they could be playing because the Comic-Con footage they showed off actually did have some Stallone in a Ravager's uniform, but I don't think that he's playing a Ravager because all the big Ravagers characters are relatively minor in the film compared to Taserface. Taserface is like the big Ravager. I know everybody's holding out hope for Nova, but they could be other elders of the universe. There's the Architect, the Astronomer, Caregiver, Champion of the Universe, Contemplator, Explorer, Father Time, Judicator, Obliterator, Possessor, Runner, and the Traitor. We've already got two Elders of the Universe right now. It actually, I should say a third because Ego is confirmed. Technically, he is an Elder of the Universe. So let me know in the comments, who do you think they're playing? Just remember that Ego the Living Planet and Stallone and Rosenbaum will come back in future Marvel films. Really big characters, and in the case of Ego the Living Planet, a literally big character. So it's just going to be so awesome. I can't wait to see this, but it is funny watching this in between the Justice League footage because that's so hardcore and the tone of this is so different. So it's going to be a big Marvel versus DC footage war this weekend. And like I said, they dropped those Spider-Man posters. That might be them ramping up to post a trailer next week. So there might even be new Spider-Man Homecoming soon. But what's going to happen next is there should be a Justice League trailer in the next couple of minutes as I'm posting this. It's actually pretty early in the morning, but that'll be my next video. So that should post really soon. And then I have a Justice League Villains Darkseid video that I'll post later today. There's new Attack on Titan, there's new Deadpool, there's so much stuff, so I'll just update the video schedule in that top comment whenever I post stuff. So just check that out to see what the video schedule is from video to video. So it is going to be a great weekend. While you wait for that to post, you can click here for new Avengers Infinity War, and you can click here for all those Justice League trailers. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys in the next video.